Are we live? 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 Oh, I think we made it. Wow, guys, I got to tell you, I have never been more unready for a presentation than I am today. But it's not a big deal. I mean, we're in pretty good shape. The biggest problem is that it was all my fault. First of all, welcome to Mike Meyers Ask Me Anything. My name's Mike Meyers. I'm a producer of lots and lots of IT training materials, books and videos and instructor-led training and test banks and simulations and all kinds of stuff. And I am here to welcome you guys. This all started just a few weeks ago as a way for us to deal with coronavirus. So many of us just sitting at home by themselves that I thought this would be a good idea for us to have a place for us to be able to talk with each other, and as we're working and studying for the exams, to have an opportunity to, well, ask me anything about any CompTIA exam or beyond. I stay in my lane for the most part, which is going to be IT fundamentals, A+, Net+, Security+. But we can talk about a little Cisco. Certainly we can talk about technologies all day long. So this is the opportunity for us to talk about anything you want. I have good news and I have bad news. The good news is I'm going to have some kind of giveaway today. I'm going to be giving away a $25 gift certificate to GameStop/ThinkGeek. So for anybody who needs that caffeinated soap on a rope, by golly, stick around and go for the competition. The second thing is I've been promising now for 2 days that we'd be talking about containers versus virtual machines. And I spent hours trying to get this thing called Docker to work. And I can get it to work, but the problem is it's really boring. And I've put all this time in, and I don't have anything interesting to show for it. So we are going to delay discussion of containers and virtual machines till tomorrow. So I apologize ahead of time if this creates pain and angst for any of you guys. I do want to talk about it, but I'd rather do a good demonstration that makes sense for everybody than to do something half-assed that people are like, meh, who cares? So sorry about that, team. Yes, I am playing with streaming tools. So this is the first time I have ever done a green screen, chroma key. I've still got a couple little problems like right there, which I cannot see from here. I have no idea what that is. But the bottom line is I'm just playing with some of the toys. This will become, as I get more sophisticated, this kind of stuff, these features will become handy if we want to talk about stuff, and I can play weather guy and, talk about, the kind of things that can be helpful that where green screens and chroma keys really come into play. So it is good stuff all the same. So I am curious, first of all, checking. Okay. Audrey O'Shea, are you here today? I don't see you on the list. I knew that you had a question from yesterday that we were going to cover, but we're definitely going to make a point to have that covered for you today. So anyway, we're going to be talking about, we're going to double check the question exactly. You had a question about CAD systems is what I remember. I was just going to cover them all in one big shot. Okay, so yeah, we can just do CAD stations if you want. That's not a big deal. All right, we'll do that in just a minute. So anyway, first of all, you guys, just because you were kind enough to show up today, I want you to know that we are just about giving away all of our practice questions and simulations at 60. That's right, Bob, 60% off. So anybody who's interested, all you have to do is go to our TotalSim.com site and type in this code. I don't have the code on me. Scott Jernigan will be typing it in momentarily. And there it is. Thank you, Scott. So it's MMLive427 this week. 60% off is redonkulous, guys. I mean, that's just crazy. So, these prices will not always be there, So bottom line is that you might want to take advantage of those if at all possible can. It's very, very inexpensive stuff. Okay. All right, so anyway, let's dive in and see what kind of questions we have for today. Joseph Tabares, is the NASA shirt in reference to the UFO videos the Pentagon released? No, I just like NASA stuff, and I got a buddy of mine who works in Mission Control and gets me all these cool shirts. So this one in particular is the 40th anniversary of the space program, of the shuttle program. 30th anniversary of the shuttle program. From, oh, this is the whole thing. No, this is after they shut down the shuttle. So this is commemorating the shuttle from 1987 to 2011. Thanks, Obama. All right. Now, Jimmy, it took me forever just to get this to work. And I can still see stuff that makes me less than happy with it. Yeah, so it's a start, though. I almost turned it off, but it took me so long to get this green. You can't see this green screen because the green screen's working, right? And it took me so long to get it. I'm terrified to change anything at this point. I don't want it to break. Okay. And, so questions. Let's start this from the top. Here we go. Timothy Bennett. Who owns the 125 Class A IP addresses? Actually, Timothy, that's not that hard to look up. I'm going to do owners of Class A, ADDRESSES. Let's see who pops up. There's a Wikipedia listing for it, believe it or not. It's in Wikipedia. Hang on, I can bring that over for you. So this is, oopsie. So this is a list of assigned of WAC 8 IPv4 address blocks. And it's just sitting there in good old Wikipedia. As you can imagine, there's a lot of federal government people in there. A lot of them have been passed down to the regional internet registries. There's any big owners of the type A's? There's a little bit of stuff. MITRE. Yeah. There's probably another place to drill it down even a little bit more than that, but I don't quickly know where to do that. So I'm going to leave that as that for right now. All right, what else we got here question-wise? Doi Tran. I'm about to take the CompTIA A+ exam. I'm wondering how the online exam will occur and how it looks like. Okay, pretty straightforward. Did anybody answer that? RA? No. Okay, so Doi, the trick is on this online exam is you got to go to a very specific website, which I'm going to count on my buddy Scott Jernigan to locate for us and put it up. It's I think it's under the Pearson View, like pearsonviewonline.com/CompTIA, something like that. And you have to pay for the exam like you normally would. You have to go through, before you schedule an exam, you have to take pictures. Like they can't take pictures of where you're going to be tested. You have to have a computer that has a camera on it, and it has to have a speaker and a microphone. And you have when the pictures are taken, they're going to look, because you're taking pictures of the walls around there. And if you got some weird looking thing with lots of pictures on the wall with words and stuff, it's not going to work. So you need a very simple place to do it. The other problem that you want to make sure that everything works right, so you need a good internet connection. I wouldn't trust it with wireless, but you can, I guess, if you want. Once that's all set up, you schedule your exam, you pay your money. You still got to pay the full price for vouchers. And once that's done, you schedule the exam and you log in and it locks your computer down. You can't do anything but take the test. And you got to be really careful. Don't let kids or pets or anything walk in. I've already heard a couple of real nightmares already of people who've had the test shut down on them because some kitty cat. Yeah, you may like your cat, that's great, but is it worth losing almost $400? So you really need to think about this stuff if you're going to be doing the online exams. Also, I have one particularly nightmare story that I heard about, and that is that somebody was taking the exam and it locked up on them, and they were kind of like, well, tough cookies, you tried to do something which caused the trouble. And she's like, I didn't do nothing. So it is less than optimal in my opinion. But you can start doing that today if you want. Just be careful. And Andrew Hutz and Toluit and Jimmy, why you do this to me, Jimmy? Batman, Alan Duggan. Andrew Hutz just talked to an immigration lawyer about my wife's green card. Good luck with that, brother. We're officially able to stay in the U.S. till it goes through. Good, thank God for that. So now I can look for a job because there's no risk of me having to leave. Excellent. That is good news, man. I love my country, but our immigration rules right now are ridiculous in my opinion. Well, unless they're Irish. Yeah, I don't like those Irish. I'm kidding. Andrew de Gooyert, but good Netherlands guy. Do you know that Americans have no idea what a Walloon is? Like, they have no clue. I've given up trying to explain it to them. Okay, so Andre, here's a joke for you. You ready? If people from Wales are the Welsh and people from Belgium, I just blew my own joke. If people from Wales are the Welsh and people from France are the French, so what do you call people from Belgium? The Belch. Yeah, stick to your day job, Myers. I know. Oh, she's Canadian. I thought we'd never talk about Canada. You guys really need to watch a television series called Black Books. It's hilarious. All right, well, that is good. Allison Ledoux. Hi, everyone. First time here. Welcome. Da-da-da. Mike, does Mozilla have access to your passwords and data if you sync an account? You assume yes. Yeah, it is well locked down. It's kind of similar to the one you see with Chrome, but whereas Chrome tries to be all over the place, including everything that is Google, they really just keep passwords to websites. And not only do they keep passwords, but they keep histories of passwords, which I have found more than convenient one time where I forgot a password and I'm like, oh, try this older one. And hey, look, it magically worked. Yeah, this was a kind of an arbitrary background I pulled up out of one from the vaults, darlings. I have other backgrounds. Let's see what else we got here. How's that? Yeah. All right. These are my Zoom backgrounds, honestly, so I'm going to have to get a little bit more serious about these guys. All right. What else we got question-wise? Also, do you let Lockwise create passwords for you? No, I create my own passwords. I have a very complicated, yet well understood by me, unique password system that I'm not going to change at this late date in my life. It works great. I'm not going to mess with it. Subin Joseph is back. Professor Krager, did you change the thing? Cook background, Mr. Myers. Cool background. I knew what you meant. What are the prerequisites to start the AWS pathway? Is Cloud Plus a good start? I would say Network Plus. Okay, there is no prerequisite for AWS. Doggone, what is the first AWS certification? I forget. Scott will look it up for you. Scott, what's like the de facto first AWS cert? Anyway, there are no prerequisites. So the answer to your question is there are no prerequisites. Are there stuff that I might recommend so you have a knowledge base that will be helpful to you? Oh yeah. Definitely Network Plus, and probably Cloud Plus wouldn't be bad either. When you get an AWS, they assume you know what an IPv4, IPv6 address is. They assume you know what a firewall is. They assume you know what a router and a switch is. They're not going to challenge you on that. They want you to learn how the cloud stuff works. Gino, due to your presentation yesterday, I've been looking at alternatives to Google search and Google domains. Start page is my favorite. Here, you want to see mine? There you go. This is how Mike Meyers starts his searches with a tool called Start Page. The reason I like Start Page in particular is that it basically is a Google search. except they strip out all of the telemetry. So when you use Start Page, you are using Google, but they don't know it's you. So I like it. Become a floating head. Sorry, Jimmy, I don't have that skill yet. Mike, is there still a reason to use FAT16 or FAT32 to format a hard drive? Well, a hard drive? Like an old school hard drive? No, there would be no reason whatsoever. I would think that maybe for like thumb drives or something like that, there could be some motivation for that, but yeah, no. Here, Scott Jernigan says, use FAT16 if your drive is no larger than 32 megabytes. I can't find yes, he's absolutely right, because NTFS master file tables would become massive, and that would be a problem. Same with FAT32 file tables. But no, the bottom line is I cannot come up with a good reason. A small thumb drive, maybe, that would be about the only thing that could come up as a reason to do that. Be the great and powerful Oz. Yeah. Ignore that man behind the curtain. Michael Numbers. Let's talk sci-fi movies. Oh, all day long, brother. All day long. It's an AFA shirt reference. No, we got that one. Just embarrassed. And when will the USA technology catch up with the aliens? We are the aliens. Okay. Andrew Hutz. Mike, do you have any advice on how to best present my customer service experience from banking on a resume? Yeah, I mean, look, especially if you got a help desk job or you're looking for a help desk kind of slot, on your resume you just put customer service representative. Trust me, HR people know what that means. So just putting that in there, they're going to be real happy. So just go for it. It's all good. You don't have to be complicated on that one. I bet Mike's into Ancient Aliens. No, I'm into the recent ones, the ones that are here now. Vintage Space is a great YouTube channel for NASA history. It is. And it is terrifying for me. I really am into space, like big time. So Mercury, Gemini, Apollo, all of the Space Lab stuff, up through shuttle, and into the ISS. So everything. How's that for easier? If anybody ever wanted to talk about that. Oh, here you go. Thank you, Scott. It's onview.com for the exams. Okay. Drummer Dude, 1988. Hey, Mike, I'm taking the A+ 1001 this Friday. I recently made a career change from teaching to the IT field, and I'm 31. Yeah, is that oh, you're worried that 31 is old? Nah, don't worry about that. You're plenty young. But there's a more interesting question here, and that is, when people jump in to IT from other careers, one of the biggest mistakes they make, in my opinion, is that they don't take advantage of what they've learned in their existing career and just put that into the world of IT. So you're in the music world. I'm guessing, Drummer Dude. Career change from teaching to the IT field. Gotta tell you, if there was one place that could use more IT people, is all the teaching kind of stuff that goes on. In particular, there's so many tool sets out there that are used to assist teachers, and we don't have enough techs to support those tool sets or to sell them. Man, I tell you, if you just wanted to make stupid money these days, IT sales of different types of products, and you hit the right product, you're making multiple 3 figures a year. You live on the road, you have no life, you'll probably get divorced, but you can make a lot of money. So the big thing is yes, 31 is absolutely fine, drummer dude. Don't worry about that. But don't forget that you have a lot of experience. Try to use that experience to help you get yourself a job where you take what you know, add IT to it, and then stir with rinse and repeat. Oh, good Lord, Scott. Was he asking for a very specific, for just the 125? WAC 8? Sorry, I must have read it wrong. Dave Forshums, how often do you need to change the thermal paste on a CPU? I never change it as long as I'm not disturbing the mount itself. I've heard people say 3 years and things like that. That's not been my experience. But the problem is that especially as it gets, as the heat dope gets really old and gets crunchy, unless you've got a nice even pressure on it, simply setting down a desktop can dislodge it. Knocking it over is definitely going to dislodge it. And if it's less than 3 years old, it hasn't really got that crunchy yet, where you would need to do that automatically. And who doesn't need a new kind of cooling system every 3 years, right? Yeah, it's fun. 3 years if you're paranoid. I'm waiting for everything to open back up. Me too, brother. I cannot wait to sit down in like a restaurant. I am dying to sit here and go, yes, I'll have that lovely burgundy and, some nice appetizer and somebody pleasant to enjoy the afternoon with and a good waiter. Oh my gosh. Oh yeah, so now I have a nutritionist. So what am I talking about? This lady's actually pretty good, and she's given me all kinds of delicious food. In fact, she's going to stock me back up here in a couple hours. But so what am I talking about going to restaurants? That's not happening. We'll go bowling. Anybody like secret bowlers? I love bowling. I only do it a couple of times a year, but I get out there, I'll bowl a 133, 140, have a blast, drink a couple of cervezas. I always have a good time with bowling. So that's when everything opens back up. Grown Man 284. Feel better just going to one of their facilities. Already past the 1001. A lot of people agree with you. Especially like this poor person I was mentioning who sent me this very sad letter. It's like, Mike, I didn't do anything. I'm trying to take the test. The test locks up on me. And I get a letter from CompTIA saying fungu. I was like, wow, this is a person who doesn't have like tons of money laying around. And basically they're like, something went wrong and it's your fault and you're out $400 later. Terrence Tech, I don't know if it's buggy. I think that it's just new and we don't have all the nuances picked up on it yet. Like people like in the middle of an exam plugging in a USB mouse, I've heard will lock it up. So, those are the things we have to figure out. Would you recommend a fresh reinstall of Windows 10 from time to time, and if so, how often? That's a tough question because, the easy answer is yes. But the better answer, in my opinion, especially with Windows 10, if this was Windows 8.1 or earlier, I would instantly say yes. But there's a lot of cleanup that's built into Windows now, automatic upgrading, stuff like that. I would never do that unless I knew there was a problem, or I felt there was a problem. One of the things that people always forget to do on desktop systems is just run a regular old benchmark. And Windows has had benchmarking built into it since forever. Run a benchmark on it and see what your CPU loads are, things like that. And when things start running slow, that's usually a clue that you need to start doing some cleanup. But I got to tell you, Windows 10 has changed that a lot. Usually my biggest problem with Windows 10, if it's running slow, is I've just put too much garbage on there. And I start delete, and making sure I have some hard drive space left. And then it's happy. So I guess my answer would be, I am not in a position to recommend a fresh install of Windows 10 like I would have for years, decades, with other versions of Windows. Thank you, Tendo. I like my background too. I like this one better. Okay. Allison. Oh, I actually got your name right? Oh, Allison, I feel very excited. Tanner Sova. Whoa, holy smoke, look at all these. Once again, I was scrolling slow and I was like, nobody's asking any questions. And then boom. Norm Krager, Tux and Company. No, actually, that was the Penguins from Madagascar, but yeah, I could see where that would happen. Professor Krager, AWS Cloud Professional. That's one, and it doesn't record. Audrey O'Shea is on. Thank goodness, Audrey. You had a question. One of your students had a question about what's the perfect type of CAD system. We're going to answer that. Now that I know you're on, where have you been, young lady? Steve G, NTFS or XFAT? NTFS, always. Why would I use XFAT? Thumb drive, be about the only thing I could think of that would ever motivate me to use XFAT anymore. I mean, guys, I still use a lot of features on NTFS that other people seem to forget. I'll set up NTFS permissions, and EFS encryption is built into NTFS, works great. I like NTFS. Oops, certified cloud practitioner. Thanks, Scott. Allison Ledoux, Scott Jernigan, is the live Q&A set? Yeah, it's same time, 2 o'clock, Allison. 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time. Anthony Thudium? That's a great last name. Is IT and software engineering ever all related? Sure. I mean, software is a critical part of IT. So, yes. I guess I'd want to hear more about how this question works. What's an example of when IT might benefit a programmer? So Anthony, I might challenge your usage of the phrase IT in this particular situation. I would think maybe kind of what you're saying is more of a hardware and systems. Is hardware and systems and software engineering ever at all related? Well, they're symbiotic, right? I mean, they're not going to work without each other. So, I mean, they're very much together. IT might benefit a programmer. When would IT? So when would hardware and systems knowledge? If you want to work on biases, if you're having to interface with hardware, people who write device drivers, as hackers, good Lord, ethical or not, understanding the hardware is probably one of the biggest vulnerability areas that we have in systems today. And understanding, how you can talk to a particular chip in ways that it wasn't supposed to be talked to and stuff like that is a big thing. What is your opinion about Chromebooks? Andre, I'm not a big fan of Google in general. Google has served me well for a long time, but my problem with Google is I feel that it's getting to be too big brother for me, and I've actually been unhooking. Were you here yesterday? We had a big long talk on this. Yeah, where we were here yesterday, and I basically said I'm unhooking from it. Chromebooks are good tools. We've got a couple laying around the office, don't we, Scott? I know we do. Sorry, I'm getting lots of information coming in. Bear with me, guys. Okay, so. So I like Chromebooks. They're just a little bit too big brother for me. Oh, operator error. How would you feel about reviewing, verifying GPG developer signatures, checksum signatures? Woo! Reviewing GPG developer signatures. operator error, that's a little bit outside of my bailiwick. I mean, keep in mind that I really want to concentrate mainly on, A+, Net Plus, Security Plus. So definitely talking about the idea of signatures or checksums wouldn't be a bad idea. Certainly discussing what is GPG wouldn't be a bad thing. But unfortunately, I think that the questions you're asking might be a little deep for me. Oh, yeah. Here, you got another question. Yeah, sorry, operator error. Sorry, I think that's deeper than I want to go. It is not a super duper skill set of mine. Sorry, man. Tony C., greetings, Mike. You inspired me to move out of government service once I obtain my A+. Oh, boy. I'm not sure that's a good idea, Tony C., but okay. All right. Timothy Amanda, go SpaceX. Absolutely. Do you think China is ahead of America in the space race? Not even close. I'm 46 with 25 years of government experience. Does any of that government experience, Tony C., have to do with carrying a gun? It's always the good stuff. No. I love history, man. I'll talk about history all day long, drummer dude, but it's always tricky. All right. Anyway, it's about 12:30, so a couple of things I want to cover. First of all, Audrey O'Shea and some of her students had a question about CAD-CAM systems versus regular systems. So let's talk about that. First of all, CompTIA A+ obsesses on what are the basic hardware requirements for different types of systems, okay? And they break them down, thick client, thin client, CAD-CAM system, virtual machine, VM server. There's a few others. Anyway, most of them are pretty straightforward, but on the graphics systems, on the CAD-CAM, graphics / CAD / computer-aided manufacturing. So to me, that's all the exact same system. The big ones, number one, is going to be all the RAM that you can possibly get, some kind of higher-end graphics card, and this is just weird, but you need to know this for the exam, a multi-core processor. All right? Try to get a non-multi-core processor today. I mean, even ARM processors are multi-core. But, the questions are on there. And the thing is there's a known question on the A+ that's actually a simulation where you're dragging different types of RAM or different types of CPUs or different types of graphics systems onto this image. And people look at this and they're like, well, what kind of system is this? Well, think about it a little bit. If you use my study material, you're never going to have a problem with those questions. But a lot of the simulation questions, guys, are really just multiple choice questions done graphically. And that's just this is what these guys do, and they get away with it. And so we copy that type of question. No, you do not copy actual CompTIA questions. That would get me in trouble. But anyway, that is there for you. All right. So, CAD-CAM systems. Ready? Multi-core processor, a good graphics card, and lots of RAM. That's all you need to know, and you'll do fine on the exam. Would it be, Andrew Hutz, would it be feasible to use my old gaming laptop as an extra VM server and access VM? You'd probably hate doing that. If it's a VM server, you probably want to have the VM stored locally just for speed reasons. Trying to turn your network into a RAM access bus is not a good idea. Does deleting cookies stop fingerprinting? Generally, yes. Currently, I'm working in a planetarium. Oh, that sounds really cool. With some major tech geeks right now and learning on the job. Well, drummer dude, I hope everybody's helping out there. Working in a planetarium sounds pretty cool. Did you ever watch Big Bang Theory? What's his name? Rajesh? Allison Ledoux. Hi, Mike. I'm on Windows 10 and logging in is an exceptionally long process. Well, I'd like to know a lot of other questions, Allison. What do you have preloaded on there? There are tools out there that you should be considering running. Good. What is the name of that tool that Rusinovich makes? Isn't he pretty? God, that guy's such an... Here. You guys you'll see my browser. The guy is so nerdy, but he's so... There we go. Sysinternals. That's what I was looking for. I'm looking for a tool for you, Bib. Auto runs, that's the one. You need to get auto runs. Auto runs from Rusinovich is an amazing tool that will find every auto starting program in your computer. All of them. And if you've got a big long login, one of the first things I'd be checking is for auto starting programs. The other thing I'd be curious about is who you're logging into. Are you logging in through a VPN to a faraway server? Yeah, that's going to take a while. Is this a little home system? I don't know. You didn't tell me. So that would be some of the questions I'd have. And by the way, just because you didn't answer my questions here, feel free to keep asking good questions like that. It's going to take, you might have to talk a couple more times before we get there so I can really answer it. I should stop being lazy and install my Corsair. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think you'll be happy. Batman 9002 used to be a bowler in a league. I never actually got so crazy enough to do league bowling. Okay, anyway, let's do a competition while I'm thinking about it, okay? So, one moment, please. Scott Jernigan has information for me. Uh-oh, well, I blew it. So I need like Scott like talking to me real time through my headset because he's like, I just said something I wasn't supposed to say, so now I'm in trouble. Oh well. Anyways, let's do a contest. All right. So Dave Rush, I'm assuming that you are online. So Dave Rush, I need you to do me a favor. Oops. Dave Rush, I need to know your birth date, including the year. So, doggone it. I got a better one. Scott, I don't know where Dave is right now. We're about to have a competition, guys. You're about to type in a birth date. Let's do Scott's, oh, can't do a wife, of course. I need somebody's birthday that I actually would know the answer to quickly. No, that's no fun. I got a bunch of things that would be interesting contests, but you guys could look them up so fast that it could be a challenge. Of course, no women have birthdays, so we can't use any gals. Okay, you guys ready? We're about to have a competition. This competition gets you a $25 gift certificate to ThinkGeek, better known as now as GameStop. Well, a wonderful website, has lots of fun toys on there. And let's see if I can bring that up real quick. So this is ThinkGeek.com, which is now a part of GameStop, and they have all kinds of silly, fun toys. Who needs a clearance t-shirt? What else we got here? Any Overwatch or anything like that? Fun electronics. You might need some tablets or anything like that. Wearable technology. Is that anything other than watches? Yeah, pretty much no. Anyway, it's a fun site. They have all kinds of wacky toys that I play with all the time. USB, surface-to-air missiles, stuff like that. Anyway, so our competition right now is going to be for a $25 gift certificate. So to answer to win this, all you have to do is answer a very simple question. What is Dave Rush's birthday? Let me give you some clues. I'm going to give you some very subtle clues. Dave loves living in Texas. If you ask Dave what the difference between a 727 and a 737 is, he could tell you in great detail what the difference is. I'll give another clue. Dave is younger than me. How's that? Okay, that ought to get us started. All right, so you guys ready? Here is how I need you guys to pick. You're going to type it in right now. You guys ready? Dave's first computer was a Radio Shack Trash 80. So if you want the $25 gift certificate, I need you to write down what you think Dave Rush's birthday is. Write down month/day/year, okay? 2 digits for each of those, all right? If you write 4 digits for the year, I don't care. It's not going to make me any difference. So I need everybody to type this in. If you're competing, now is the time for you to type in a date that you think Dave Rush's birthday is. Seriously? That's all we got competing? Here we go. Come on, kids. The moment I see people stop typing, that's going to tell me that, come on, TS, he's younger than me. Oh, Audrey O'Shea, you're going to give, right now, Dave's having a little heartburn. Okay, is that it? Is that all, everybody? Are we there? Hold on, I'm looking. Kind of see them all on one screen. Oh, no. We've got him. Okay, so the winner is going to be Timothy Bennett. Timothy Bennett is the winner. Dave Rush's birthday is 4/26, 1963. You are the closest without going over. So congratulations to you, Timothy Bennett. You win. All right, now, Timothy, in order to get this, you have to send me an email. And so send me an email, and or you can actually even text me within this tool set. You can send me a DM, and I can get that information. All I need is an email address. That's all I need. So go ahead and send that in, and you, dude, have got a $25 gift certificate. Let us know what you got, because I'm always very excited about that. All right, that was fun and easy. Remember, guys, we're going to have at least one more giveaway this week. Fridays tends to be our big giveaway days. This was just a little giveaway, mainly because Audrey O'Shea and her students were here, and I love them so much. And I wanted to give them a little something special. And but do keep in mind that we'll be also doing that. Friday, we'll give away books for sure. Lord only knows what else I'll be giving away. Woo, lots of people are typing. Allison, it looks like a lot of people are giving you good answers. Both Jimmy and Terrence Tech look like they're giving you the same answers I would give you, so I'm going to let that slide. Allison, if you don't like the answers they're giving you, please just come back tomorrow. We'll talk about it again. It's never a problem. Also, one more time, let's do this again, guys. If you need to contact me, especially if you have a complicated question and you really want me to work on that question hard, like operator error, dude, I wouldn't mind having a conversation with you outside of this where we could talk about this a little bit more. It's probably outside the scope, but I'd like to at least take a shot at it. Send me an email. Use either of these emails. Send me Steam if you want to play games. This is my office number, which will forward to me. I can't take text on. I can just do voicemail. And when in doubt, go to DesWeds. I'm DesWeds at everything. So you guys understand, if you have bigger questions that are going to take me more time to develop, that's a great way to do it. Like, for example, the whole containers versus virtual machines thing. I was so close. I almost had it all set up today. Docker is an amazing tool, and it just, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to talk about it. It's making me crappy. All right. MJ, hey, I used your books to pass the Net Plus and A Plus. Question is, what's your risk good for get into cybersecurity pen testing? MJ, why do you want to get into cybersecurity and pen testing? You know, I'd like to, when people say this, because it's cool, I mean, that's not the worst reason. Like, what are you doing now? Do you have a college degree? You know, what aspect of cybersecurity is interesting to you? Are you more of a defensive or more of an offensive type? Are you a firewall fanatic, which there are lots of them out there? Do you like hardening individual systems and some of the tool sets you would use that for? Because if you tell me that you want to get into cybersecurity to make money, I'm going to tell you right now, go be a plumber, because you'll make a lot more money a lot faster. You need to have a passion, and that's okay. I mean, this is your opportunity to think about where you want to be. For example, one of my most favorite things about the CompTIA Security Plus is that it does help you in your career, but more importantly, it really compels you to look at a very broad cross-section of what exactly does IT security mean. You know, I don't even know what cybersecurity means. I like the word IT security, but we're all talking about the same thing. Pen testing is a really tricky area to get into. Sorry, kids. Man, I don't know what it is. I'm just not sleeping. Takes me forever. It could be the Avast antiviral. I can't imagine it would take that long, but it potentially could. So something to definitely think about. Anyway, still the same is the tool I was showing you would have at least shown you where it was loading up. Thank you, Dave. Appreciate you letting us borrow your birthday. See, the problem is I'd always want to do some kind of contest that would take skill, but the problem is there's a lot of really smart people on here, you know, and it's like if I come up with something too easy. So we'll do better. Friday, I'll have a more compelling competition. How does that sound? Love Mike Meyers' press briefing. Cool. Oh, here we go. Yeah, you know, guys, we're never compelled to go for an entire hour. If we slow down, you know, I can always sign off early. But, you know, if we've got questions rolling in, and we do. Subin Joseph, hi, already Udemy, Voices Udemy A+. Want to enroll for Total Seminars course. Is Total Sims and they're not a course, all right? Total Sims and Total Tester are just practice questions and practice simulations that mimic the look and feel of the actual CompTIA exams. It's not a course, okay? It's practice questions for you to practice with. That's it. Do they tie in well with the videos and with my books? Yes, but they're not a course. And you don't enroll, you buy them. They're yours. Keep them. Try using CPU-Z to get motherboard info. Always a good one. I never saw the question on that one, Tulawit. Looks like you have it well in hand. Yeah, Vimal, I try to do questions that are related, but you guys are so smart that I run into trouble with them. So birthdays, at least I know it's completely random. But I will. I'll try. I'll try. Kelvin Tran. Kelvin, you and your Cisco, dude. Allison Ledoux, Mike, you're the best. Yes, I'm the best. Don't you forget about that, darling. You need a Server Plus and Linux Plus. I don't even know anybody who's doing Server Plus. And Timothy, if you are, God bless you. CompTIA would love for me to do a Server Plus, but I have to make money. I hope I'm not offending anybody with my capitalism there, but yeah, can do it. Linux Plus, we're talking. We are talking. H. David Piercigilli. I set a PC to turn on in safe mode and is asking me for a password. How can I do star the Windows 10 in normal mode again? Still going to ask you for a password no matter what mode you're in. Oh. You don't know your password. There are few things that irritate me more than people who forget their passwords. When I install Windows, I always have a local administrator set up on all my accounts. I will never use a Microsoft account. I got some scary stories about trying to recover on those. I'll set them up for a domain. That's not a problem. But if it's like a home system, I will set up an administrator account and somebody's going to get that password. And we'll set up normal accounts as well. But there's always some way for me to get into a system. I am unaware currently, and you guys can double check me. We're due for checking this again anyway. Is there a way to recover passwords on Windows 10 systems? I know a lot of people who advertise it, but then when I try using it, I find myself out $30 or whatever it is. So if anybody actually has a tool that they use to successfully and always be able to get passwords off of Windows 10 systems that you're locked out of, tell me about them. And don't just throw me a name. I need something that you really trust, because I don't have anything like that right now. So yeah, H. David, I don't have any easy answers for you. Audrey O'Shea, would you express your opinion on Meraki routers and their licensing requirements? I don't use them. We do everything using Ubiquiti these days, which are dirt cheap routers, extremely powerful, very high bandwidth. We even use them as teaching tools now, for get 4-port, 5-port gigabit routers now for well under $100 with all the toys built into them. So I don't use them. Sorry, Audrey, I actually don't use them. I'm all about Ubiquiti for smart routing systems, particularly in learning environments. So the answer is I don't know. Yeah, Dave got a bunch more views on LinkedIn? Absolutely. Andrew Hutz, I swear to God we're going to do virtualization. We would have done it today if it wasn't for the fact that I'm having all kinds of troubles getting containers to work. So what are some possible IT career paths that involve virtualization? There aren't any IT career paths that have to do with the internet that don't involve virtualization. I mean, maybe a guy who's doing switch configuration or HVAC. I mean, it doesn't matter. Everybody does virtualization. It changed the internet for us. It's wonderful. I love it so much. A big part of any cloud certification is really just virtualization. So I don't know how to answer that question. I would say you have to know virtualization today, or at least have a good core concept of it. You need that for setting up Dell servers. I mean, man, me and Michael Smyer back in the day setting up ESX and ESXi, VMware, Type 1 hypervisors and all that stuff is amazing. And yeah, everybody has to know about it. Allison Ledoux, I'm going to try to be able to do containerization and virtualization tomorrow. I'm not going to hold myself to that. I'm going to try. I know we'll do it this week, but I don't have any specific date questions. I mean, really, this isn't Ask Me Anything. This is an opportunity for those of you who are studying to ask me questions so that I can help you guys pass. I mean, that's my main goal. But we bring a few of these topics in mainly because people ask questions. And some of the questions, and that's why I show my email address so people can have an opportunity to develop their questions a little bit more, and gives me an opportunity, and I'll make PowerPoint presentations or whatever the heck you need to help understand that stuff. Sheikh Abdullah. Sheikh. It's not Sheikh. That's so American of me to do that. I'm trying to get into security. Could you guide me path for what cert I should took? What should I take? Sheikh, you should be taking a look at the CompTIA Security Plus is probably going to be your first great step. My other question, I know I hate to keep doing this, is why do you want to get into security? What do you know now that suddenly makes you want to get into security? Are you a motorcycle repairman who thinks you're going to leap straight into IT security? That ain't going to happen, son. You need to be taking a look at, for many people, the CompTIA Plus, certainly the Network Plus, and then seeing where you want to go from there. Where do your skills lie? What do you want to do? And when I say skills, I'm not saying your IT security skills. I'm talking about, are you a kinesthetic type learner who touches stuff and figures things out? Are you a reader? Are you a listener? What's your learning skill is what I'm trying to say. And that's what we need to concentrate on. Then I can answer that question for you better. Here's MJ back. I am looking into pen testing cybersecurity for the knowledge and perhaps a job if I am good at it. I do not have a college degree, but I do have the A+, and I'm studying learning C#. Hiram's boot, MJ, I'll check that. Here, I'm going to check that one out myself. Scott Jernigan. So MJ is swearing that Hiram's booth, which I've never heard of, I want to check that out. We'll see. Thanks, MJ. We're going to check that out. So you want to get into MJ. I'm still picking on you. Okay, this may be our last question. I'm interested in looking at pen testing cybersecurity for the knowledge. And no, pen testing is the ultimate skill set. When you're that good, you're already at the top. You need to be getting into some infrastructures, some enterprise level infrastructures. And it doesn't matter what you're doing within that infrastructure, that's where you start to show your security interest. So you might just be working in a server room, stacking up Dell pizza boxes, but that's where you start, but then the security comes into play with that. You express your interest within the enterprise, and then you start moving forward. I would also, if you really want to move forward in security, you probably ought to seriously consider getting a 4-year degree. Lots of people don't do it. If I were to be doing it over again, I'd be going for a 4-year degree. That's right. Mike Meyers, the Alpha Geek, does not have a bachelor's degree. How crazy is that? I just didn't make any sense for me. It was the mid-90s, and I was making a ton of money. And I actually dropped out. I was 30 hours short of my computer science degree and a combined computer science chemical engineering degree, and I just went straight for it. See where it happened. Yep. So I don't have a degree. Okay, guys, it looks like we're wrapping up once again. Another exciting episode of Ask Mike Anything with Mike Meyers. We are here every Monday through Friday at 2 o'clock Central Daylight Time. I am going to play with this Hiram's boot tool because I want to see if that actually works. And I'm here, Scott. I'm going to cut that out. And I am going to find out tomorrow if this thing is legit, because I'm desperately trying to find another somebody lost the password tool set. They just keep changing that so often. This homepage is from 2014. All right, well, we'll find out. Anyway, guys, it looks like we're going to have to be wrapping it up once again. I had a great time. We will be back tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Tomorrow's going to be a slower day, easier day. Days like tomorrow are great because this is when you've got a bigger question. Send me an email, and I can really develop that question. Or you can just send it to me, and we can work it out either way. But I am glad to help you guys. And so let me let you go, and we will pick this up again tomorrow. So until then, this is your little Uncle Mikey going, good night.